Yo, droners, guess what? I got it. I'm more than official now. It's going down. Droners, welcome to Droner News. I'm very excited because I got my FAA certified license, which I already had, but now I got the official card in the mail, and this is what it looks like. It's really pretty and official, and I don't want you to see my information, but yeah, it's really good. I love it. And we have a good episode of Droner News coming up, so let's just get right into it. Coming up first, we have Disney. Yes, Disney is getting into drones, and they're doing kind of what Intel did with the Intel 100 drone light show they did with the orchestra. Disney has now just gotten FAA approval to be able to do pretty much the exact same thing with their Flixel drones at night. So now instead of seeing fireworks, you might see LED illuminated screen-toting drones flying in the hundreds over the park that can make anything. Literally, you could see Mickey Mouse over the park. That's not a firework anymore. That's dangerous. It's just a bunch of drones that are not allowed to fly over people. Either way, it's going to be super dope. Check it out. I'm overly excited, and this will be a good reason for me to go there. Coming in at number 2, as I've mentioned before, I was pretty skeptical about the Karma when it came out. I'm always skeptical about a company that doesn't do drones, like, yo, we got a drone, it's our first generation of it. And I'm like, I don't know, this is a really hard thing to do. It's not everybody can't just jump into the drone industry. And guess who's learning that? The GoPro. They have just actually recalled every single Karma drone that they sold, which is about 2,500 of them, and are giving full refunds to everybody because they're having sudden losses of power. And they're saying that only happens in some of them, but they haven't figured out what the problem is yet, so they had to recall all of them because all of them would crash, and that's obviously a huge liability when there's a manufacturer error on a drone. So they brought it back, and Droner, or the drone community, has been correct about saying that that was not going to work out. Either way, I hope it doesn't destroy the company, which is already looking like they're not doing that good. I hope they get their act together and can figure something out. And coming in number 3, speaking of what Disney's doing with like, oh yeah, they're gonna fly a couple hundred drones in the air, Intel decided to up their game too, and now they're doing 500 of it. They had 100 as a record, then they broke that record, and now they're doing 500 in a single flight, all controlled by one person on a single laptop. So Intel has a new drone called the Shooting Star and a new software that's running all 500 of it, and they did it, and it looks incredible. I mean, the things that you can do when you have this depth of field in the space, when you have all these drones creating images, pictures, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, they're creating feelings. They're doing that. If you have all of that, you can make some amazing stuff, and Intel is really pushing the technology forward. I think they're looking to actually make these completely replace fireworks everywhere. And I'm a fan of that because fireworks are really dangerous and super wasteful and bad for the environment. So maybe drones can help out in that way too. Coming number 4, there's a guy named Ilhan, sorry if I said it wrong, Bae. Yeah, I'm gonna call him Bae henceforth, B-A-E, awesome. Who, first of all, is a really good dancer. And this guy his dream is to have drone avatars for like people. So like you could float into a meeting as a drone with your personality and probably the video of your face and control the drone and move around the room and be able to do all the things that you do if you were actually there, like have arms and stuff. And I'm not even gonna try to describe to you what this looks like at the current state. You really just you gotta see it. It's interesting will be the word I'll go with. It's interesting. But yeah, this guy's a dreamer. I can't say that I can necessarily see his vision based upon what we're looking at here. But I don't know if drone avatar is the worst thing I've ever heard of. Either way, this is a really eclectic, weird thing about drones that I couldn't help but share because I was like, what the hell is this? So check it out. Coming in last, but certainly not least, if you've watched me on a lot of these other videos explaining things, you've probably heard of Drone Deploy before because I've used it before to do some mapping. It's really useful, it's awesome, and it works with pretty much almost any drone that's a common drone like DJI drones. And it can use a lot of data from the camera to make maps. Now they're taking it a step further, and Drone Deploy has actually launched an app store within their application, which sounds a little confusing, but the idea is that you will be able to get all your drone needs in one place. So if you want to be able to say, oh, am I legally allowed to fly here? Then there's an app for that, you know, the Sky Vector map. If you want to be able to say, how can I map this, or what can I do with this map data? There's an app for that. Pretty much they want to have a one-stop shop for all drone apps in one place, and Drone Deploy wants to be that hub, which is really cool. I trust their software thus far. Like, it worked really well for me. It actually flew my drone for me autonomously and did all of the mapping. So I think they're really on it. When it comes to drone software, they're killing the game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this can do. Droners, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Droner News. Always appreciate having you here. And if you want to be here more often, then there's more places you can go, like other Droner News episodes that are right here. Or if you want to be able to see other drones hands-on or racing drone stuff or any other cool things, you can click right here because that's the place to do it. And as always, I always really appreciate if you subscribe because that is what allows us to do what we do, and make sure you stay fly.